Good morning, grade 9. We complete our lesson protists. The second category, plant-like protists, algae. We mentioned first category, animal-like protists, protozoans, and the four groups of protozoans: pseudopods, flagellates, ciliates, and parasites. And now we will speak about the second category, plant-like protists, algae. Algae play a significant role in many environments because algae are autotrophs. Yes, algae that live near the surface of ponds, lakes, and oceans. What are properties of algae? Number one, important food source for other organisms. So other organisms, I mean heterotrophs, depend on algae as a source of food. Number two, when we mention algae, I mean autotrophs, so I mean photosynthesis process that release oxygen. So algae main source of oxygen in Earth's atmosphere, which equals autotrophs. Number three, vary greatly in size. Some are unicellular and some are multicellular. Unicellular live together in colonies, while others are multicellular. So we will see together the groups that are unicellular and the other are multicellular of algae. Number four, vary in color. Vary in color. Yes, color, because pigments. What are pigments? Pigments, chemicals, produce color. So algae may be green, algae may be red, maybe brown, maybe orange. This is due to different pigments or different chemicals that produce colors. Number one, group number one of algae, euglenoids. Euglenoids are unicellular, not multicellular, and also are green. Where can you find euglenoids? Anchor on the rock. Look, anchors the rock. So euglenoids are unicellular algae that are in fresh water and also autotrophs, so it releases oxygen. Okay, but when sunlight not available, euglenoids will act as heterotrophs, which means depend on other organisms for food. Number two, some euglenoids move using web-like flagellum, like flagellate in animal-like protists, like bacteria. Yes, look at nucleus that characterize protists that are eukaryotes. The nucleus, yes, the genetic material involved in this part. Look at eye spot. Eye spot that's sensitive to light. The euglena is common euglenoid with red spot. Euglena, yes, that's sensitive to light, so it can make photosynthesis process easily and release oxygen. This is number one, euglenoids of algae, which are unicellular. Second group, dinoflagellates, also unicellular algae, dinoflagellates. Yes, but the structure of dinoflagellates, look, surrounded by stiff plates that look like suit of armor. Yes, exist in variety of colors because they have different pigments. Okay, different pigments can glow in dark. Yes, and light up. But when the swimmer comes, what happens? They disturb their movement in water. Yes, disturb it. Dinoflagellates exist in a variety of colors because they have different pigments. Dinoflagellate have two flagella hold in grooves that help him twirl like toy top as they move through water. Yes, this is their movement. characterized by this movement like toy when twirled in water. Okay, these are dinoflagellates, second group of algae. Third group of algae, diatoms. Diatoms are unicellular also. So, euglenoid, unicellular. Dinoflagellates, unicellular. Diatoms are unicellular also. Unicellular protists with beautiful glass-like cell walls. Beautiful glass-like cell walls float near the surface of lakes or oceans, attack to rock in shallow water. And also diatoms, source of food for heterotrophs in water. Yes? Diatomaceous. What are diatomaceous earths? These compounds formed when diatoms die. Yes? Which is unique type that used as good polishing agent. So industry depends on diatoms when die and form diatomaceous compound. These diatomaceous compound used or plays an important role in bone formation, and also we can use diatomaceous as a good polishing agent. Yes, good polishing agent, and the household scoring system. All of you know or see this in our home. Okay, look, scoring products comes from diatomaceous earth products. Number 4, or group number 4, red algae. Red algae, I mean nutrients or food. Yes, for people or Asian cultures, especially Asian cultures, depend on red algae as a good food rich in nutrients. Okay, red algae are multicellular. This is the first group of algae, which are multicellular seaweeds. Divers have found it growing more than 260 meters. Red algae, I mean red pigments that are especially good at absorbing small amount of light. Carrageenan and agar are used in products such as ice cream and hair conditioner. These products comes from red algae or depends on red algae. Yes, some products of ice cream and hair conditioner, and also red algae nutrient rich food that is eaten fresh or dried or toasted in Asian cultures. Last group of algae, brown algae, also edible, and some industries depends on brown algae. Also brown algae, like red algae, multicellular, including also many seaweeds. But brown algae characterized by gas-filled sacs called the bladder. These sacs that filled with gas help it to float in water and float upright in ocean water. Some people eat brown algae. Yes, substances called algins. Algins are extracted from it and used as thickeners in pudding. The pudding sweet taste that eaten. Yes, these depend on the brown algae. Okay. Third category, fungus-like protists. Fungus-like protists means molds. We have 3 main types of molds: slime molds, water molds, and downy mildew. Okay. Firstly, fungus-like protists are heterotrophs, no autotrophs. Depend on other organisms. Have cell walls, use spores to reproduce. It's very important. When we spoke about protozoans, spoke about sometimes that reproduce by binary fission and conjugation, but fungus-like protists reproduce by spores. Yes, use spores to reproduce. Spore, tiny cells that is able to grow in a new organism, طبعا needs suitable condition like moist, shady places, yes, and spread and grow to new organisms. Number 1, from molds, slime molds, brilliantly colored. Look at this yellow color, brilliantly colored, that live in moist, shady places because they are heterotrophs, doesn't need, or slime molds as general do not need any sunlight, yes, so they live in shady places like forest floors, live on earth on the surface of decaying materials, so act as a decomposer like bacteria, yes, decaying material, feeding on bacteria also and other microorganisms. Slime molds began their life cycle as tiny amoeba. We mentioned amoeba belong to pseudopods, yes, so at the beginning slime molds have pseudopods to feed and decreep. Number 2, or group number 2 and 3, water molds and downy moldules live in water, also moist places, and grow as tiny threads that look like fuzz. Look at soft layer, this is called fuzz, maybe white, maybe black, that destroy the crop or plant when attack it. Yes, destroy it completely. Attack many food crops such as potatoes. Okay, so we did the part of fungus like this, and we did all parts of protists, the main 3 categories: animal like protists, plant like protists, fungus like. Thank you all of you.